Hello guys, and welcome back to another video in our channel. Welcome back to another live stream in our channel. And today we have a lot to talk about. There's actually a lot that is happening in the club. There's a lot that is happening in the league, and I really want to start talking about how is the season been. What is the season review? Do you think that Chelsea have managed to meet their overall expectations that they set this season? Do you really think that Chelsea have winning the Conference League has changed everybody's overall perception with regards to the Chelsea project? And I'll be going live today. I will also invite some of you to come and share your views about this. But I really want to talk about the season overall. So the first thing that I have to note about the season is that Chelsea managed to get and meet all their targets this season. The targets that Chelsea had this season were the top four, though Maresca said that initially the pressure was not on him to get to the top four. I'm going to talk about everything, the strikers, the signings, whether we should sell Jackson, and what role will Jackson be playing next season. So do not worry. So as I was saying, we're going to talk about everything that has happened this season. Are we seeing progression in this team? Are we optimistic about next season? Do we see something that is going to happen, that is going to change our perception of next season? Isaac has already said if we got Gyokeres, also if we got Gyokeres, I'm going to also talk about that, and I'm going to analyze all the strikers that we are looking at. So first of all, Chelsea had two finals. Chelsea won the two finals that they had to win. They got a crucial win over Nottingham Forest on Sunday. They got a crucial win on Wednesday. And the way Chelsea got that win, once they conceded the first goal, you could see the second half, the way the team grew, the way the team matured. You could see Reece James. I think some of us might look and belittle the Conference League, but what I have to say personally is that I am seeing something unique. I've shared a link to the studio. I'm seeing something unique about this team, and we are seeing growth. The Conference League might be a small cup. It might be quite small. It cannot be compared to the cups that Chelsea have won. The Conference League is small. But what I'm saying is that you can see progression. We're seeing the maturity of Reece James. Reece James is stepping up, taking up his captain role the way he's supposed to actually take it. He's taking it up. He's becoming strong. He's becoming that leader that this young team need. And the perception that he showed when he came on in the second half in the Conference League final, what Maresca said about him when he said that Reece James told him that I am here. Don't worry, boss. We are going to win this cup. You see, that thing and the way he called his teammates before the second half started, hugged them, talked to them, drilled a lot of passion in them, and Chelsea were able to turn a 1-0 deficit into a 4-1 victory. That is what I call maturity. And Chelsea have really turned up this season. This is one thing that I have to give to Enzo Maresca and the team, because one thing you notice is that Chelsea, where they were in the last two seasons after the clearing out of the Roman era players and the manager, Thomas Tuchel, then the hiring of Graham Potter, then the sacking of Graham Potter, then the constant manager change all the way to Frank Lampard, then the hiring of Pochettino, then Pochettino coming in, being at the club for a full season, then Pochettino getting sixth, then gets out of the Europa League, courtesy of Manchester United winning the FA Cup. And you could see that there is something unique that is actually happening here. And one thing I have to talk about this season is that Maresca has managed to achieve it. I'm going to also talk about the signings. I'm going to talk about Gyokeres. I'm going to talk about Delpa. I'm going to talk about Nicholas Jackson, because also people have questions about the future of Nicholas Jackson. I'm seeing a lot of you are interacting on the comment section. I'm so happy seeing this. I hear my friend Isaac is in. we'll just invite him. But Isaac, you could probably have your camera on so that people can interact with you. And if you're watching this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you've not watched. Subscribe to our channel, and also do not forget to hit the notification bell so that when we have live streams, when we have podcasts, when we have videos, you're ready to join the team. Now, Maresca has achieved top 4, not top 5, top 4, which was the bare minimum this season after finishing 6th. That is progress. And he has won a trophy at Chelsea. And this is a young manager also. So winning this trophy is very important for the players and for the manager. For the club, we've won bigger trophies, as I've always said, but for the players, you can see even from their social media posts, they are so excited because they now see, they can now believe in the project. They have had the cherry on top of the cake. They have now started to believe that they can win things. And I'm really glad that we are starting to embed that winning mentality. You can see the togetherness in the squad. Now you can clearly see that Maresca is in charge of the squad. There's no there isn't any disagreements in the squad. Everybody's in the team. Everybody has bought into the project, and you could see the celebrations after the Conference League. You could see the celebrations after the Champions League qualification in the Premier League. And why is this so important for the team? We also have players like Jadon Sancho, who we are going to discuss. Should Jadon Sancho be signed on a permanent? What is Chelsea going to do about Jadon Sancho's contract? What is Sancho going to do about his huge wages? Because Chelsea have this model wage structure, and Sancho, being a squad player, will not command those huge wages. He has to choose. Either he's going to reduce his wages so that he can stay at Chelsea, or Chelsea will have to bid him a farewell. But that is a decision that Jadon Sancho has to make by himself. Smash the like button, interact with us in the comment section. And I'm going to hear somebody's already saying the lap already receiving hate from our fans, and he hasn't been announced. Our fans are acting like Spurs fans. We're going to talk about that. And I've said, you want to join the studio, click the link. And also, can I have your camera, please, on so that we can be more interactive for the people who are watching, so that they can also see you, and they can also get the feeling when you are making your contributions to the team. So, hello, Isaac.
Hello, Tyrone. Hello, everyone.
You are muted. I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
You are still mute. Oh, sorry. I think.
Hello, Tyrone. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah,
Tyrone.
Yes, I can hear you. My mic was muted. I had muted myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
Yeah. So how are you seeing the season? First of all, can you talk to us about the Premier League, and are you satisfied by the position that Chelsea have finished, or are you disappointed? So, some fans were looking at it like Chelsea are supposed to go toe to toe with Liverpool till the end, and some really got disappointed with the deep Chelsea had and how they dragged the top four race all the way to the very end.
No, I'm satisfied. I'm not disappointed. You see, this year we are fourth. Last year we were sixth. And before we were 12. We finished 12. So it seems like we are improving. So I'm satisfied. And we got Champions League. And we win the Conference League. So it's positive. I cannot be disappointed, and I think we are moving in the right direction. But there is one things for which I'm not convinced yet is the way Maresca is using some of our player. You know, we have two right back, James and Gusto, and I believe that they are good left back in the Premier League. But the way he's using them, that I'm not convinced, and I don't agree with Maresca the way he's using James and Gusto. Why
Okay.
I'm saying that? Remember when under Mauricio Pochettino, Gusto had a big impact in our games. But under Enzo Maresca, I feel like Gusto is not a good player. But I believe he's a good player. But the role Maresca is giving him is not fitting on Gusto.
Okay. So, but okay, there's something I have to say. Maresca is introducing a positional play system that I do understand the inverted fullback role. I'm actually a huge proponent of it because when you're having an inverted fullback, it's much safer controlling the game than having a fullback who's overlapping, because we were used to having fullbacks who are overlapping. You have players like let me just connect my mic a bit. So you have players like Alonso. You had players like Alonso. You had players like Victor Moses, and these were fullbacks who are looking to bomb forward. Dani Alves, Marcelo, and we are moving away from that era of those fullbacks, because one thing it was noticed is that the more we were, Pep Guardiola noticed that when he was in Barcelona, the way he was committing Jordi Alba and Dani Alves to be overlapping, allowing Messi and David Villa to come quite narrow and play in field, it suited the Barcelona way. But he understood that he cannot play this way in the Bundesliga, because the Bundesliga, a lot of teams are very quick when it comes to counter-attacking, especially when he was coming up against Klopp. As Klopp's Dortmund, and you had players like Aubameyang who are very dangerous when they are looking to counter, and Lewandowski. So the use of the inverted fullback is so important, because when you're having your fullback in midfield, he's closer getting back to defense. And the fullback that we have, that is Reece James. I know a lot of us want to see Reece James in the attacking third. We want to see the rockets that Reece James used to have under Thomas Tuchel when he was playing as a wingback. We want to see Reece James making crosses. We want to see Reece James bombing into the box. But again, we will be the same people complaining that Reece James, you can't stay fit. Reece James, what's wrong with your injury record? Reece James, you can't play just 2 games and then go injury or get injured for around 10 games. So we are in that situation and in that position where you need to manage these players. You need to manage these players. And as Maresca said, that Reece James is a top player. He's one of the most important players in this team. He's probably on his day, he's probably one of the best right backs that you can have in the league when it comes to physicality, when it comes to defending, when it comes to even chance creation. You could see what he did against Manchester United. So I do agree with Maresca, but I don't agree with inverting Gusto, because I don't think Gusto plays well in that position. Cucurella plays well in that position. Cucurella plays well in midfield. When you play him with Caicedo, he's good. When you play him further forward alongside the winger, he's also good, because he's making those runs that Fernandez is also making. So Cucurella can be an inverted fullback. But if you decide to use Cucurella as an overlapping fullback, then he will not be a good fullback, because Cucurella is not a better crosser of the ball. I don't think he even crosses the ball better than Chilwell. If you are looking to play with an overlapping fullback system, then you're more likely going to incline towards Chilwell and Reece James. They are better crossers of the ball. Gusto also is a good overlapping fullback. He can cross the ball. He can bomb forward. So if we are looking to use Gusto as a fullback, then probably we can decide that we are either inverting or we are either playing with three center backs. Maybe we say that we'll be playing with the back of maybe Cucurella is out injured, so we play with Gusto, Fofana, Tosin.
Cucurella,
Yes.
mhm,
So I'm saying
yes,
we
yes,
probably
something like
play.
that. But also, now, uh, as long as the winger is not overlapping, you see now, sorry, the right back. Now it's the winger are suffering. If you watch all our games, it's like when the winger have the ball, he has to, how to say, he has to find a solution himself. Is
Yeah.
isolated on the line, and on the half space sometimes there is Palma or Enzo, and then it's our winger doesn't have enough solution to how to move with the ball. So that's why sometimes they were just trying to cross the ball to Jackson, but Jackson also, he was not strong enough to take the ball like this. So when the right back overlap, so it gives more solution to the winger, because when he overlapping, the defender might follow him, and then the winger stay on 1v1. So it's more easy for the winger to be in 1v1 than to have like three players around. See, Neto, Pedro Neto, he suffer a lot in the games. The three games we have in Premier League, with Man United, with Newcastle and Nottingham Forest. So it was not easy for him to have enough solutions. So they have either to dribble, either to pass, and when they pass, they don't have that progressive pass. They pass to the defender. Then that's why sometimes, I don't know, but I have that feeling that our games were sometimes a little bit boring.
You've talked about the wingers getting isolated, and actually, let me just tell you that that is actually the tactic. That is what Maresca wants. Maresca wants his two wingers to be in the wide position, isolated against their fullback. Now, the problem that I have is the way Maresca is actually using his wingers. Like, in my opinion, Noni Madueke is a better dribbler than Neto. So if we are having Noni Madueke starting on the right, he's more likely to give us more output because he will cut in with his left foot and look to take on his fullback. That is what he wants, because if he's able to pull the fullback out, then players like Palma and Fernandez can be making that run. And you saw, how did Palma create the two chances? Noni Madueke was wide, so the fullback was caught into two. Should I cover Noni? Should I cover Palma? Then Palma realized, because
Yes.
the fullback was being overloaded by two players, Palma carries the ball all the way to the half space, because now the fullback thinks that if I go to cover Palma, then I will allow Noni to receive the ball and Noni will dribble inside the box. You see? So if you have that threat, that's why I've always said that I find it better if Noni and Palma are playing together, because now these are two left-footed player looking to cut in, and I've always seen Palma performing well when he's playing together with Noni Madueke. And once Palma is receiving that ball and the fullback is not committing to Palma, what happens? It makes the center back to come and cover Palma, and that is what made Palma cross
Yeah.
and Jackson actually score the goal. So when you look at the grand scheme of things, is that what Maresca is doing, having wingers there, it's much better, because when you have wing backs, when you have fullbacks will only give you one thing. They will either cross the ball or they will pass the ball backwards. You're not going to expect Cucurella to have a fullback and then you will see Cucurella trying to do some things to try and dribble past the fullback. No, no, no. You're also going to see that. Probably Rhys James can do it, but you're not going to see that generally from fullbacks. So I do understand why he fancies having wingers and having wingers getting isolated, but we can only do that if we have a striker who's occupying the two center backs and allowing players like Fernandez and Palma to thrive. That's what I can say. Because even when you look at how Fernandez scored
Now,
the
do
goal,
you? do you think, okay, because you talk about Fernandez, I know he scored the goal and is the leader in the team. Now, do you think Enzo Fernandez is a good box to box midfielder comparing
Mm,
to Gallagher? Maybe.
when I look at the role that he plays, yeah, definitely. When you compare him to Gallagher, he's way better because he's a better passer of the ball. You know, there is also one thing we need to look at Fernandez. He knows how to pass the ball. He can make that pass. When you look at the role that Maresca has been using him in, I think he is a good player.
Mhm.
He is a good player. And one thing that I like is that if probably we want the best player in that position, then that the best player to play in that position in attack is João Felix. But when we lose the ball, will João Felix drop alongside Caicedo and do what Enzo does? Because Enzo is playing two positions. He's playing, in fact, you've gotten the correct word. He's playing as a box to box midfielder. He's playing as a number 10 at the same time he's playing as a number 8 because a number 8 is a hybrid between a number 6 and a number 10. So if you have players like João Felix who can give us more than Enzo in that position, but the problem is once you lose the ball, you have Palma, you have João Felix, who goes to sit next to Caicedo while defending. Because yes, as much as Caicedo is so good, if he's isolated between two players, he will be made ineffective. But when you have Enzo, when Chelsea lose the
Yeah.
ball, Enzo is more likely to drop alongside Caicedo and play in that midfield role with him. So that's why I will incline towards Enzo in that position because of also the defensive side of the game.
But remember also last year under Mauricio Pochettino, we start playing good when Enzo Fernandez got injured. You remember?
But we finished sixth. And also, when you compare Mauricio Pochettino's system with that of Maresca, there are two different things. We conceded
Mhm.
68 goals last season. This season, we've conceded 43 goals. We've conceded 25 goals less.
So
So the system that
definitely
Maresca is using,
the way the, the system of Maresca is it fitting to our players? Because
yeah,
they, for me, let's say we get more points in November and December, but I think the problem which Maresca have is the same which Amorin have with Manchester United players. His system is not fitting to the players.
I would beg to disagree because the time, okay, let's look at when Chelsea had a dip. Let's start from there. Let's look at when Chelsea had a dip. So, in the first 19 games of the season, Chelsea was second with Liverpool. True.
Yes,
Then,
yes,
the game that Chelsea had a dip was the Everton game. And when we look at that lineup, let me just
yeah,
share the lineup. Let me just share the lineup. I want
okay.
to show you something. I want to show you something about that game. I want to show you something about that game. I want you to notice something that you cannot just probably put it on the manager. And here it is. Let me just share my screen. Here it is. Now, what do you automatically notice from this lineup? Number one, we don't have Cucurella on the team. Number two, we don't have Fofana in the team. We don't have Rhys James in the team. We don't even have Lavia on the bench. So, as much as a manager is so good, a manager is as good as the players that he has. The same way, Guardiola finished third, but when you look at it, if you tried to probably if Rodri plays 38 games this season, do you think Manchester City would have challenged Liverpool if Rodri played? Let's just be honest. If Rodri played in Manchester City's midfield this season, do you think
No,
Manchester City?
definitely, Rodri is the game changer. He could change the
The
team.
entire
So the
dynamics
team
of the season.
will, yeah, yeah,
So
yes, I agree.
this is what Maresca fielded after that winning. This is where our problem started because after this we lost to Ipswich. Then we went ahead and drew again.
Yes,
we lost to Brighton. This is when we started to have that bad
We
patch.
lost
And
Fulham. Yeah.
yeah, so the kind of players that we lost during this period were one, Wesley Fofana. Wesley Fofana was playing with Colwill, and Wesley Fofana was playing as
Yes.
that right-sided centre back. And now we had Disasi playing as a right back. Just imagine Disasi with how poor he was. Then we also, Jackson got injured in this game. You can just see Jackson actually was being subbed off from this game. So Jackson also got injured during this game. And what you notice is that the manager, his hands are tied because even Noni Madueke, who was playing as the right winger in this game, was also out injured. Rhys James was also out injured. So, in my opinion, I think the system overall has improved the players. I'm seeing a better Enzo Fernandez. I am seeing a better Moises Caicedo this season. He was way better than he was under Pochettino. I'm seeing a better Marco Correa who's scoring goals. He never used to score goals under Pochettino. I am seeing a better Colwill. I am seeing a better Tosin. Even Sanchez has improved towards the latter stages of the season. So the only player that I can probably
Yeah, but
say might have,
you don't talk about Palmer
that's
and
why
Gusto.
that's where I'm going.
I'm,
But I am
I'm
not I'm
wondering.
not I'm not dwelling on Gusto because when you look at it again, is that you usually go with the majority. And has the team improved from what it was last season? Have we conceded less goals? Because last season we all complained that we were conceding more goals. This season, when we lost to Liverpool, we lost 2-1. Last season, we lost 4-1 to Liverpool. This season, we lost 1-0 to Arsenal. Last season, we lost 5-0 to Arsenal. So we've not even lost games with huge margins this season. The games we've lost 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. I don't even think there's a game that we've lost 3-1. Probably the Manchester City game. I think the Manchester City game is when we lost 3-1, and that was the game that we conceded the most goals. This season, we've not conceded so many goals. And when you look at our first 10 games of the season, we were outscoring ourselves, but we were also conceding. And that's why Maresca kept on saying that we were far off from where he wanted us to be, because he wanted a system that is balanced, where you are scoring substantial amount of goals, but most importantly, you are not giving out chances. And do you feel nowadays, especially in the running, the last 9 games we've had, have you seen that when Chelsea actually go 1-0 ahead, you can comfortably sit and feel like Chelsea can win that game 1-0? I think you have felt that. Under Mauricio Pochettino, did you ever feel that? You are on mute.
No, 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 no. We could not, because during under Mauricio Pochettino, our defense was so weak.
But again, what are the building blocks to challenge for titles? What are the building blocks to challenge for titles, to win games? It's the defense. We won the Champions League by conceding 4 goals.
Yes,
We've
of
set a
course.
record in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
yeah. So, in my opinion, I always look at, it's better you tell me that we are conceding less goals, we are unable to score, because now we are in the market, we are getting a striker, and we are going to talk about the
Mm-hmm.
strikers. But we already know what is our best backline. Like now, in my opinion, if you ask me, our best backline is James, Tosin, Colwell, and Cucurella. Midfield is Fernandez and Caicedo. Front three, I am probably going to start Noni down the right. Noni and Neto, I don't know where they can play, but I would prefer both of them. Palmer
So,
and
do
Jackson.
you prefer Noni to the right than to the left?
Yeah, definitely. He's more dangerous to the right than to the left.
Okay, I have another opinion on that.
Okay, okay. Let me
We've seen
just hear
him
what.
actually. We've
Okay.
seen him. Yeah, we've seen him on in, I don't know, 4 or 3 games to the left, and
Yeah.
I think he was so good. He was so good. Maybe what I think is that during the game they can start with Neto, with Pedro Neto. Yes, yeah, just to change those positions. Sometimes it can also bring some confusion to the opponent.
But you also have a very good player who will be coming, Estevao. Estevao is a very good player,
Yes,
and
yes, yes, of course. I wanted to come to that also.
yeah,
Now it seems like Jason Sancho will stay.
yeah,
Then we will have Jason Sancho, Pedro Neto, Madueke, and Estevao.
yeah.
I think those wingers will be fighting for the place. I don't know how Maresca will manage that.
First of all, I have to say this. Unlike the Conference League where we could play our academy players, the Champions League is different. We can never play Tyreek George, Acheng Bong at defense when you are playing against PSG.
But they have to
So
grow. They have to grow. Where are they going to play? In
no,
Carabao
no,
Cup
they are
or
going to.
FA Cup?
No, we are not going to compromise the Champions League. We cannot compromise the Champions League for youth development. They can play the Carabao Cup in the earlier stages, the FA Cup, but I think majority of them will go on loan because Chelsea, we are not going to
Okay.
the Champions League to participate. We are going to try to win. And when you
No,
want
no,
to
no,
try to win
definitely.
a tough competition, you want to have your best team on the pitch. So I have no problem because when you also compare when you compare Jackson, when you compare actually the strikers that you're having, when you compare the team that you're having, because even Sancho is very experienced in the Champions League. That is one thing that
Yes,
you need to know.
yes,
Sancho
yes.
is very experienced in the Champions League. Estevao might come in, you might introduce him as a sub and see what he's given you. If he plays well,
Mhm.
then you can at least play Noni in the Premier League and play Estevao in the Champions League. You have two strikers. You
I'm
can
confident
decide to.
with Estevao. That guy is coming to push this winger from Barcelona, this young man,
Yamal.
Is
Lamine
this
Yamal.
Varane?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm 100% sure. Estevao is
Oh,
coming to push that guy. But let me
let's
ask,
hear from.
in which competition? Sorry, sorry.
I wanted us
Yes,
to
go
hear
ahead.
what Marco has to say.
It's
Yes, yes.
impossible to play in Premier League. It's
Yeah.
just like Yama. Cause it's different level for William Pay here and adopt under the Raska to play like Yama. It's impossible. You can come for as a sub player for Will. You can look at the Real Madrid, the striker, the young one. It's also need more time to develop. So we have to wait and give him time. We cannot push him.
Marco, sorry, you are talking about the striker, who Delap.
Sorry?
You are talking about Delap, Liam Delap.
No, 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 no. The Real Madrid, the striker from Brazil.
I'm not sure to get you.
He's
Yes,
talking
Aaron.
about.
Do you get?
Yeah, he's talking about trying to push Estevao because yes, as much as Estevao is balling, he's looking like the next Neymar in Brazil. This is the Premier League. This is the Premier League. We have seen top players coming to the Premier League and looking average. So yes, he's young, and you wouldn't want to put a lot of pressure on a player who's barely 20 years old. So he's a young player. So you must manage him because he's coming to face very strong centre backs. He might even play the first game against Liverpool, then you're telling him to take on Virgil van Dijk, and you can see how big and strong Virgil van Dijk is. So he might need some time to blend in, and I believe that they can probably start him from the bench. Then once we see what he's doing, if we have a weaker opponent, we give him game time. But I'd be happier if we will be pushing more and more to have him into the team. So that's just my opinion.
I'm talking about the Endrick in Real Madrid.
Oh,
I
Endrick.
think it's similar player
Yeah.
in Brazil. He come to Real Madrid and he suffer a lot. We need to give time to the young teenager to grow up. You cannot
Yeah,
just
yeah.
let him come in and then pay our starter players.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm actually agreeing with you. You wouldn't just take him because he's playing quite well in Brazil, and then you compare the Brazilian league with the Premier League. But a lot of fans are so optimistic with Estevao, which is rightfully so. But in my opinion, again, we still need to give him some time. We still need to give him some time. Yes. Okay, so guys, I'm saying this. I'm saying this. I'm moving on to the next topic, which is the striker's position. Chelsea have signed Delap. A lot of questions on Jackson's future. Will Jackson be Chelsea's striker next season? Are we expecting Jackson to actually come back strong? And in my opinion, I think the signing of Delap is a good statement, and I'm still expecting another striker. I don't think that we're just going to go with Delap entirely. I'm expecting that Chelsea are going to add another striker, and that striker probably is the choice between Gyökeres or Victor Osimhen. Now, Gyökeres has scored close to, I think he has a GA of 112 this season, out or 80 years, 112 out of 120 games, which is quite remarkable. He has scored a lot of goals, and he's more of a poacher. He's a striker who likes to make runs in behind. He's very potent in front of goal. His shooting is perfect. But the question is, will he suit Chelsea's system? Because Chelsea is a possession-based team. Chelsea faces lower blocks throughout the season. Chelsea is always playing against lower blocks throughout the season. So that is what I'm going to talk about. What about Delap? Delap was signed yesterday. He's coming in, but I've said one thing about Delap, even in my tactical analysis. I am not happy with the way he holds the ball too much. He can receive the ball, he can hold off defenders, he can bully fullbacks, he can bully midfielders. But what I'm not so convinced about Delap is his ability to progress the ball. So he can get the ball, then once he gets the ball, he's unable to play those passes quick enough. And you need to release the ball quick enough for players like Palmer to attack and destroy disjointed defenses. So he's going to come up in the Premier League. He's going to find Chelsea being a very competent team, and teams knowing that they cannot match Chelsea toe to toe in possession, and they may therefore choose to sit in deep blocks against Chelsea. So how is Gyökeres going to manage with that? Yes, Marco?
What?
Yeah, I'm asking for your opinion on Delap.
I think Delap is a great player, but
Yeah.
what if he is a third striker or second striker for real? If we sign Delap as a third striker, he will need more game time than McGill. Is it a good way to have three quality player in the squad for our team? Is it
Um.
enough game time for Nicola Jackson? I will ask him that. And
mm,
Nicola Jackson and Delap is different player in our
okay.
squad. It
Yeah.
is a good signing. But if we sign one more top player, top
Yeah.
striker, it will affect Nicola Jackson and Delap time, the game playing time.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. But what I'm actually leaning towards is that next season we're going to have, if we have three strikers, the better, because Jackson can also be pushed towards the wing. He can play as a left winger. We've seen him playing as a left winger, and also we can try to have Jackson playing. You can use one striker to rest them because as a striker you do the majority of the pressing. So the striker is more likely to be substituted in the 60th minute. So if you give each striker an hour per week, that is, the player who plays in the Premier League plays 60 minutes, gets subbed off. You bring in a striker for 30 minutes. The striker who has played for 30 minutes, you start him in the Champions League. Then you give him 60 minutes in the Champions League. Then you play the other striker, you give him 30 minutes. So you are rotating them. You're rotating them, ensuring that all of them get game time, because we will need a lot of play. We will need two quality teams. If you want to go for both the Champions League and the Premier League, you need both quality teams. You need two good wingers on each side. So if we don't sign a winger, then we'll have Neto and Noni, and then we're going to have Jax. We're going to have Sancho, Estevao. Then we are now going to check if we get an injury, Jackson can move to the wing, because we are going to also play a lot of games next season, and so it will be up to the manager to manage the game and give some players that opportunity to play. And that's why I don't think adding an extra striker will be a problem to Chelsea.
Okay, if we're talking about signing a new striker, a top striker like Gyokeres and Osimhen or something else, but I think they all are not really proven. As the Gyokeres, he playing is a farmer league. He scored around 40 goal, but we look at every goal he scored, he's just playing as a different level of game, and the defender is not defending. So I'm just not sure. Is it really top player? Is it?
You're talking about getting a defender over adding another striker.
Huh? No, I'm asking the level of Gyokeres. Is it really enough to pay a top striker for Chelsea?
Yeah, because when I look at the number of goals that he has scored, even if we include the British tax, which is his output is more likely to reduce by 50%, then probably you are having a striker who's giving you 60 GA. When you have a striker who's giving you 60 GA, that's a striker who's giving you Mo Salah numbers. That is, even if he gives you 25% of what he gave you at Porto this season, those around 40 GA. That means he's giving you 20 goals, 20 assists, or he's giving you 25 goals and 15 assists. If Chelsea get a striker who's giving us 20 goals next season and giving us 15 assists, then I think that striker is good enough to actually take Chelsea to challenge for the league title.
Yeah. If just because our last few signature signing, like Lukaku, Lukaku, and Kai Havertz,
Timo Werner,
all are failed to show his talent and his goal.
Yes.
So I really afraid that we signing another striker, but it fell again.
We have three strikers.
If we can loan, as in my opinion, I think the only one is Osimhen. He's proven. I think he can score many goals for us, and he has a good header for us. But Palmer and Neto can assist him.
I do agree with you when it comes to aerial ability that Victor Osimhen is the best bet for Chelsea when it comes to that. However, I really don't know about Gyokeres is not good aerially, by the way. That's one thing that I have to say. He's not good aerially. So he's more of but he has a better finish. If he gets the chances that Jackson gets, Gyökeres is scoring 20 goals. If he gets the chances, the 90, because Nicholas Jackson has missed 19 big chances. 19 big chances. If Gyökeres converts 10 of those chances, he gets 20 goals. Because yes, strikers will miss big chances, but Jackson has missed 19 big chances. So if you have a striker like Gyökeres who's just if he scores like around 10 of those 19 big chances, then he's a striker who's getting you 20 goals. And imagine a striker who has scored 20 goals. Imagine out of the 19 big chances missed by Jackson, a striker, Jackson actually scores 10 of them. Do you think Chelsea would have had 69 points? No. Most probably, Chelsea win the Everton game. Chelsea probably win the Ipswich game. Chelsea probably win the Aston Villa game. You see, the kind of games where we saw Jackson missing chances and us dropping points, if Jackson is scoring at least 10 goals of the 19 missed chances that he had, then I'm thinking that Chelsea do not even go in the final day of the season challenging for top four, but rather they'd be up there, even probably having around 76 points, 78 points, if Jackson capitalized on the 10 big chances.
Yes, I agree on it. If we can score the goal
Yeah,
that
agree. You are right.
Gyökeres Jackson is missing. But how about if we sign a top talent of the winger like Rodrigo? I think that
Rodrigo,
he can provide something like Mo Salah. He can score a lot of goal, and it can replace the striker, the uh some ability of the striker.
first of all, I have to say this that Rodrigo has not scored more than 12 goals in La Liga. In the seasons that he's been there, he's not scored a lot of goals. He's not even scored close to 15 goals. So when you compare him with Salah, those are two different things because Salah is giving you a minimum of 20 goals every season. Also, another thing to add about Rodrigo is that, again, when I compare the La Liga and the Premier League, I still think the Premier League is harder than the La Liga. That is just my opinion. So when he's coming to the Premier League, it is going to be
Uh,
harder because yes.
But Tyron, you see the same comment you made on Jason Sancho. I
Yeah,
think is the same comment you should made also on Rodrigo,
yeah,
especially in the Champions League.
yeah.
Because if you watch Real Madrid games, you can see that Rodrigo helped his teammates a lot, creating space and going to the pressing. So it is he's a good player, I think.
Oh, but in my opinion, the issue that I have with Rodrigo is is the price tag. Why should Chelsea spend 100 million on a winger? You see, I will take 100 million on a central midfielder, but I'm not taking or a striker will take 100 million. Like if you tell me that Chelsea are going for Haaland and Manchester City are demanding for 100 million, I'm like, yeah, pay the 100 million Haaland because these are people who are going to win you games. Wingers are there to create chances and probably chip in here and there because in my opinion, I might say that Chelsea had this season, but if Noni Madueke and Neto, each of them get 10 goals. I've said if Noni gets 10 goals, if Jackson gets 20 goals, do you see that Chelsea might even probably even have won the league this season? Because I've always said that the wingers, if a winger gets 10 goals and probably 7 assists to me in a league season, I would say that that winger is having a good season. Because even as we speak now, I don't think Neto has scored 10 goals in the Premier League this season. I don't think the same also applies to Noni Madueke. Somebody is also talking about Chelsea signing a Kitike. I have not seen a Kitike, but I'm probably going to see him. Has anyone seen him and what's your opinion about that striker?
You see, I start watching some video when I hear about Ekitike, Gyökeres. But for me, I'm not convinced by Kitike, because if you compare even the statistics, the individual statistics, you can see that there is not much different than Jackson.
So you mean that he's being overhyped?
I don't
Yes, and
think
he's
it's
also missing many chances.
So why splash 100 million on such a player? That it's better to have to bring in a player like Gyökeres, who's costing less.
I think he
Do
is
you think we can seal the deal of Gyökeres?
Yes, Marco. He
I
was asking
think
a question.
Ikitaki is a little upgrade of Nicola Jackson. His playing style is similar to Jackson, but he is trained in his shooting talent. He know how to shoot compared to Jackson, but this is not a proven player for me. He
Mm,
hasn't proven, but we know young talent is cost us so much money.
what about you, Isaac? Because I'm also getting those opinions that he's not quite a potent, he's not a finished article, and I wouldn't want us to put in 100 million on him, because you put 100 million on him, then you are expecting him to come in and score 20 goals, and then he will come in with a lot of pressure from that. That's why I'm saying we are more likely to see Delap succeeding at Chelsea than the striker we are going to get, because Delap is coming with 30 million. There is no expectation on him. Nobody's expecting him to score a lot of goals. Some people are even expecting him to be a second fiddle to Jackson, or probably start ahead of Jackson. So you might actually find that the player you signed for 30 million is the one who's going to perform better, because he doesn't have the pressure. He's just there to prove a point, and Delap wants to play in the English national team. So I think Delap will make more. He will have a huge impact compared to signing this striker for 100 million.
You know, Tyron, I don't
Yeah.
agree with those people who are saying that Delap is inexperienced. He's not. He have to don't know. I don't know, to improve. I don't agree with them. I think Delap in Ipswich, he was the one player who was like improving or showing the best of himself compared to his teammates. And having the lap near by Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez, I think he can be a good striker. Wait and see, but I'm confident.
Even when you look at, I've said, when you look at the chances that have been missed by Jackson, Delap is playing against a team that is a counter-attacking team. He's playing against a team, players who are not going to give him chances that Palmer is going to give him, that Neto is going to give him, that Enzo is going to give him, that even Caicedo is going to give him. So in my opinion, if you probably put Jackson in the Ipswich team and Delap in the Chelsea team, Delap gives you 18 goals. Jackson does not give you 12 goals in Ipswich. I don't think so. He doesn't give you 12 goals. He probably gives you 8 or 7. He doesn't give you 12 goals. This is a player who has played for a team that has gone to relegation, and he has given you 12 goals. That's why I'm saying it's just that Chris Wood is way older, but Chris Wood would have actually worked for Chelsea. He's tall, he's strong, he's physical. If you put him forward and then you have Enzo and Palmer playing behind him, then you know that Neto will be whipping in those crosses, and Chris Wood is there. Chris Wood is going to head those balls and score them. The question again is the output. There's one thing that when we are looking at Delap that you are assuming is that Maresca wants a striker who's pressing. And when we played Ipswich, we saw how Delap was pressing. You saw how Disasi was losing the ball to Delap. So when you have a striker who's giving that energy up front, then you are allowing players like Palmer to also conserve their energy because you have a striker who's pressing like hell. And at Chelsea, he's not going to press constantly because Chelsea also dominate the ball. So the minute that Chelsea don't have the ball, he will be leading the press. And I think with that, it's going to even make players like Caicedo winning the ball in midfield. They have a player who's good at transitions. In my opinion, I still think it's an upgrade over Jackson. That's what I can say.
Of course, of course. Even when I watch the analysis you dropped about Delap, you see the weakness. You say that he is holding the ball a lot,
Yeah.
and I think he might correct that when he will have like Palma near to him, Palma,
Mm.
Madueke, because those players are want also the ball, so they will be running with Delap. If you watch all the video, I watched most of the video regarding Delap. I saw that when he was holding the ball, you see the movement of his teammates. All of them, they were like behind, and he was
Oh,
alone up front going to, yes. But in Chelsea, you can see that Pedro will be running, Madueke and Palma. Maybe in that case, he will be not holding the ball
the
as
ball
he's
for
doing
long.
at Ipswich.
But I also think that Maresca will try to coach some things out of him. Somebody is saying that two strikers are enough for a club to compete for trophies. No. Last season we had McGill and Jackson. Both of them got injured. We had to rely on Nkunku. In my opinion, again, I want three strikers because there is that injury and they are going to get injured. Let me tell you, Jackson is going to get injured. He got injured during Pochettino's time. He got injured during Maresca's time. So I don't want to take chances here because a striker might be the difference between you progressing to the Champions League semi-final and you getting knocked out of the quarterfinal. Because if you have Jackson and Delap out injured, and probably you now have to rely on Nkunku, how does that go? And you're playing against probably PSG. So how are you going to get those goals? See, so in my opinion, I don't have a problem getting another striker to come in. I do believe that Jackson will have to adapt his game, probably even shift towards the left wing, if that is the case, because I still think he can Jackson do a better job than Sancho on left wing, Marco.
What you talking about Jackson on the left wing?
Yeah.
Mm, I think he proved he can play as a wing, but I think we get a proper winger will be better for us. We can't here, we can't the number of winger. We got Sancho, we got Nato, and Madueke, and next year we got the William. Is this all proven? I think not. None of them is proven for us. I want a top winger for our team. But I don't think the market without instead of Rodrigo, there's none of it.
You're talking about Rodrigo, but again, here you have, if we are getting Rodrigo, then there's no point of retaining Jadon Sancho. And this Rodrigo thing, I really don't think Chelsea are going to get Rodrigo. I don't think, because Real Madrid are asking for 100 million. I don't think Chelsea are going to pay that money. I think the thing that Chelsea are going to do is probably get another striker, and I also think Chelsea are going to get a left back. I think Chelsea are going to get a left back
But we
because
And
only
the
have
center
Cucurella
back
is,
also.
but
yeah.
we only have two winger on the left side. One winger in the left side, who is the one is Sancho, and he cannot play well in the Premier League.
But
But
we
If
have
Pedro
a
Neto can also.
if if Cucurella inverted in the Sancho, no one can play with him, and Sancho will be lost.
but we have Jackson and we have Jackson who can play in the left, and also Estevao is coming back.
Yes.
He he's play in central and the right size. We heard from the news he want to play at the camp, the attack midfielder, and he now is playing in at the right side, right winger. It's not the left winger.
Yes, Isaac.
Yeah, I think having Sancho as a left back and Pedro Neto or Madueke can also play as a left back. And at the right,
Left
we
wing.
have at the right
I'm saying left wing.
we have left wing, left wing, left wing. We can play Sancho and Madueke, and to the right, Estevao and Pedro. I think they
I
are
was
enough.
seeing I
Could we
was
had
seeing
another
this.
winger?
Yeah, but also there is one thing that about Chelsea is that in the last two transfer windows, we've never known how Chelsea do their business. They have been so discreet in the
Yes.
way they do their business.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Every
Yeah.
signing that was made,
Unpredictable
nobody knew. Even the Delap one,
unpredictable.
Fabrizio didn't know. He just knew that Delap is coming to Chelsea. And there is a
Mhm.
centre back, a 27-year-old centre back from Finewood, who was linked to Chelsea. And it was said that Chelsea agreed personal terms with him. He's a centre back that I talked about. And I think that centre back is going to come because he's left footed. He can play as a centre
From
back or a left back
Ato.
from Finewood. From
Ato.
Finewood. Yeah. I don't know his name.
Ato. I think it's Hato.
Mm, he's from Finewood. He played and the Liverpool manager slot. So he's going to
Okay.
come.
Yes, it's Ato. It's Ato.
Yeah. So he's going to come. And the reason why he's being bought is that he's going to come and help rest Cucurella. Because, again, can we rely on playing Cucurella in the Premier League every week, then playing Cucurella in the Champions League? Yes, Cucurella can play both. But, again, there's that thing that he can actually get a hamstring. Because we also need to know something. As Chelsea, we are going to have a longer season compared to everybody else because of the Club World Cup. Because on June 5th, 15th, the Club World Cup starts. The 16th, Chelsea have a game. And that game is going to go for around a month. So they're going to go for a month. Then towards the end of August, the league is going to start. So Chelsea are going to have a short resting window. And because you're going to have a short resting window, we will need to give our players that space. We will need to have to give our players that space, that opportunity for them to relax. So I think we need to get a left back. I think they're going to sign this guy who's going to play in that Cucurella position. He's going to start as a left back, then invert inside to play so that they can play probably with the back three with Chaloba, Colwell, and that guy as a left back, and probably have Rhys James coming into midfield. Or sometimes they can even play the three of them. Then you have Caicedo starting at right back, but he's playing in midfield together with Lavia. You see, there are a lot of dynamics with the way the team is going to be set up next season.
So now Renato Veiga. He will come
I
back
think,
from the loan.
yeah, but he said he doesn't like to play where Maresca is playing him.
Yes, he want to be a center back.
Yeah, but Maresca cannot play him ahead of Colwell, Tosin, Chaloba, and Fofana. He cannot make it before them.
But how do you see his performance at Juventus?
I cannot say I don't watch Serie A a lot, but when I just look at it, I don't see him playing because he doesn't want to play in the left back position. I really don't know because,
So this is
for
also
him
the
to
task.
also hand over the transfer request to Maresca, you see, Maresca might also have reservations on playing him.
This is also another another side of our recruitment. You see, we bring Veiga because I think we lost last year to bring Calafiori. Then we bought Veiga. Then Veiga is coming. One season he didn't play the full season. Then his situation become a bit complicated. That is the same case with Joao Felix. I don't know if Joao Felix came from the loan. Is he going to play?
Joao Felix also has that aura in the Champions League.
But I
Joao Felix,
think I don't know. I don't know
because
how Maresca will manage that because Palma. I think Palma think that this is his time to shine in Premier League and in Champions League.
but he'll have to be rested in some games. He can't play all games, and that's why
National Cup, maybe.
I think Nkunku will go, but the person who will replace Nkunku will be Joao Felix. I think Joao Felix will be there next season. I think Joao
Okay.
Felix will be there. He will come to take in the position of Nkunku. McGew is more likely to go on loan to Ipswich, so you are now having
Yes.
a space for Delap to come in. Nkunku will be leaving. I think he has already agreed a deal, something like that. I think it's Bayern or something. So he's more likely to leave. Then we are going to have Joao Felix come back to take his position. Viega, I think, is going to probably go on loan or go to Strasbourg. You see, we also have another team where we can just send players to. Santos,
This is
I don't
another
know
thing.
because
What about Oguchuku and Hamugu? You see, we have a lot of players. I don't know
you
what
know
we are going to do.
Ogochuku is more likely to go to Strasbourg to replace Santos because I think Maresca is going to bring Santos back because you cannot rely on Lavia because of his injury record. And Caicedo sometime will need
Okay.
someone to come in, and Santos is a better replacement because, yes, as good as Lavia is, he will not play more than 60 minutes every game, and is not going to guarantee you more than 20 games in a season in the Premier League. So I think that's where Santos comes in. Ugochukwu will probably go to Strasbourg to replace him there. And I'm also seeing a possibility that Jorgensen can go to Strasbourg and Petrovic will come back to the Premier League.
So
So
you
we're going
mean we
to,
are not going to bring a goalkeeper?
I don't think we're going to get a goalkeeper. I
No.
don't think Maresca wants anybody apart from Sanchez. I just find
About
him,
Sanchez.
yeah. He likes
Yeah, but
Sanchez a lot. But Sanchez has improved. In my
Sanchez in
opinion,
the yes, of course, of course.
The in the last 15 games, the last time I had Sanchez having a bad game
Yeah,
was the 3-1 loss we had at Manchester City, and he got dropped. And then he
yes,
went ahead and shaved his
yes.
hair, and he came back as Victor
And last year,
Val. Yeah, so he came
and
back
last
as
year against Arsenal, yeah, Robert Sanchez killed me in that game. Last
no, it
year
was
against
Petrovic.
Arsenal.
It was Petrovic.
No, no,
It was
no.
Sanchez.
It was Robert Sanchez. Yes, you see that goal of Declan Rice.
Oh yeah. Because if he doesn't pass that
That
ball to Rice, we actually
yeah,
win that game
yeah,
because you were 2-0 up.
yeah.
Yeah, but again, it was
Mhm.
Pochettino ball. You saw the way Trossard scored the equalizer because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not usually a fan of Pochettino because there is also that side of Pochettino where we were conceding a lot of
Okay.
goals that I didn't like that side.
Now, okay. So you mean this Ato will come to compete with Kukurea? But I
He's
think
not coming.
he's
I
mostly
don't
a
think.
center back than a left back.
Yeah, but he's a centre back in a back three. He will be playing as a left-sided centre back. So in that
Okay.
case, we'll be having to play with a fullback, a right back. Probably, if we start with Gusto, Gusto will be the one who will be holding the width down the right, or probably
Mhm.
Caicedo. We can even decide to start Caicedo at right back, and then you have Caicedo inverting in midfield to play alongside Lavia.
Yes, yes.
So those are the two options
So
over there.
now, in what do you think we can do next season if we bring like Gyökeres, Delap is there, and we have Lavia not injured. So if we have all our squad, so what can we do like in Champions League?
First of all, I'd say that as much as if we have a full team, I'd still think that we need to sort out some players' situation, because at the end of the day, you don't want to have unhappy players, because that also contributes to performances on the pitch. That is something huge.
Mhm.
And even Guardiola said that he doesn't want too many players. If he's going to have too many players, he's going to quit, because it is difficult to deal with all these players. Because you have Estevao coming in, he thinks that he's about to start. You have Santos coming in. So we'll have to make tough decisions about some players next season. Sancho will have to choose if he's going to be contented to be a squad player and take in lower wages. If he's not going to accept that, then I think that Chelsea are just going to move on from Sancho. That is one thing. Also, another thing is about yes, the injury record, because you lose Caicedo and the season is finished. It doesn't matter if you have won 20 games out of 20, and the 20th game Caicedo is injured. You just know the second leg you've lost the league, because he's one important player. So I would like to see Santos coming in, because I still want Caicedo to get his weekly rest. I think the Conference League helped us, because if we get, yes, we run Caicedo down on Wednesday, then on Saturday we have a 12 o'clock kickoff.
Mhm.
Then you expect the same Caicedo to come and turn up in the 12 o'clock kickoff. You see, there is a problem. But if you have,
Yes, I think Santos will come, and definitely we can solve that issue.
yeah, we can solve that issue. So I think if I'm getting, we need two right backs. We have Gusto and Rhys James. Two right-sided centre back. We have three. We have Chaloba. We have Tosin. We have Fofana.
But
Okay, Fofana is
we
always
forgot
injured.
in defense we forgot one player. This player
Yeah.
came from Boca Junior. It's from Boca Junior, yes.
Who's his name? What is his name?
Uh, Anselmino. Wait, let me.
That one is probably going to go to play in the academy. He's not going to play in the first team. Some
Why?
players, no, 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 you're not going to play him in the first team. We know, we fans, we need to say this. Do we want to see our favorite players getting a chance, or do we want the team to win? And what the fans need,
Yeah,
Maresca
his name
needs a
is
squad.
Aaron
Uh,
Anselmino.
he's, he's not going to play. He's going to play either in Strasbourg or in the youth team, because you have Chaloba. A lot of fans want Chaloba to remain. You have
Yes,
Fofana, you have Tosin, you have Colwell, and you have Benoit also. Remember, Benoit is still there.
Benoit is not going.
Yeah, it's more likely not going. You saw Maresca starting him in the finals.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Actually, we have to find a solution for Disasi and Beno. Please, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
want those
So
two defend.
yeah, so you see, there is that problem at Chelsea. So as much as we want to play, we also need to try and balance the centre backs, because Tosin can play left-sided centre back, and if we are going to bring in a left-sided centre back, then we'll have to look for a way to get rid of Benoit, who, in my opinion,
Yes.
even when I saw in the final, I was like, I'm not. I when I saw Benoit and Gusto, I was not comfortable. If I saw
One
Colwell and
one
Chalo,
more one more player. I think Kendry Pies. What is his situation?
mm, I've not looked at his situation at the moment. We have so many players. I don't even know some
Yeah, yeah,
players. I've
yeah.
had
We
that.
have so many players. Can you imagine if all of them came back from loan? Players like this striker at Everton. You
That's
see,
for
we have
fun.
a lot of players. No, no, no. There
Broja,
is
Broja,
Afro Fofana. There is another one. Broja. You see.
Broja.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think,
So
but I think a lot of players are going to get sold. And
Ryan
as Maresca,
Sterling.
because also
We still have players. So
even Chilwell, even Chilwell was on loan at
yeah.
Crystal Palace. But I'm saying
Mhm.
we are going to sell a lot of players. We're going to lend a lot of players on loan because at the end of the day, what I noticed about Chelsea and Maresca is that I realized that Maresca normally selects his team and then he trains them. Then now he has the team that does not, because also Sterling is coming back. The team that has not been selected will be training by themselves. They will be coming to training when the first team has already trained. That is what he did. Remember when he came and people are
Okay.
saying, you have too many
With
players.
Chalobah.
Yeah. Marco, what are you saying?
What do you mean?
Yes?
What do you mean? What's your question?
Or I was asking about the squad, the size of the squad.
Mm, we have many players we have to sell for real. Like Chilwell, Keeper, Kepa, uh,
Yes.
many of it. We
You
have
see,
to
they
sell
still
all
the
of
name
them.
are still coming.
So we have more money, we got that, and we need to invest a lot for real. Um, I think we have to get at least one center back and one left back for us. And for the midfielder, we no need to invest anymore. We got Santo, we got Lavia, and we got one more from, is it Aston? I don't know how to speak his name. We bought him at the winter transfer market, and I
Mhm.
remember that he can as a replacer for the Lavia. So I think we got enough for the midfielder. So and one more striker or F wing for me.
Yeah, then it means that there are some players that are going to go to Strasbourg, and it's going to be a huge clear out because first of all, I think Kepa is not going to come back. Chilwell is not going to come back to the squad. Disasi is sealed. Nkunku is sealed. Viega. I think there's a lot of players that are going to depart. But there's one thing I have to give to this ownership is that they know how to ship out players. That is something we used to struggle with Marina because remember with Marina when we with the Batshuayi situation, we had Batshuayi in our books for a long, long time. That I almost noticed that the Batshuayi was being signing an extension, going out on loan, signing an extension, going out on loan. But one thing I like about Clear Lake is that they know how to ship out players. When they know that you are done, you might even be sitting here. You remember there's a day that we woke up and Pulisic was gone, Ruben Loftus-Cheek was gone, Aspilicueta was gone. Like they sold around 7 players in one day. So I think they are trying to sort out the squad before the Club World Cup. They want when the players go for the Club World Cup, they play the Club World Cup. When they
They
are done
know
with the
the
Club World
situation.
Cup, they go on holiday. Then now when they come back, they just come back and continue playing. So I think I think the board is probably looking at the players. They are going to sit with Maresca. I think they're probably sitting with him and asking him, do you want to retain this player? Do you want to retain that player? Do you want this player? And Maresca will just have to pick 23 players and he's going to work with those 23 players.
So we still have business to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of outgoings that need to happen. We have too many players. We have like around 15 players that need to go on loan and get sold. Because we also have Kanich Kumeka.
Yes, of course. Is he coming back?
I don't even know where he went on loan.
He's in Germany, but
Yeah,
I don't know. Not
he's
Dortmund,
in,
but
yeah.
Dortmund. Yeah, yeah, Dortmund in
But
Germany.
has he been
In
playing for
Bundesliga.
Dortmund?
Not a lot.
Can he had that opportunity to be a very good player before he got injured under Pochettino? He was one of the players who was performing really well before he got injured. So,
I I think Chukwemeka can come back from the loan and he'll be in that position after Cole Palmer and Joao Felix.
but now the size of the squad. Okay, we can have Acheng Pong and Tyreek George going out on loan. Yeah, yeah. There's also that.
Yeah.
There's also that. So I do agree, but Maresca will really need a week to go through the players who are out on loan because I also get that probably sometimes he doesn't even know. Like I watch Chelsea a lot and I don't know some players because you also have Modric. You don't know what's the situation with Modric.
He was banned for 6 months.
Oh, that was the conclusion.
I think so. Let me try and confirm.
No result for Mudryk, I think. No result yet. Still waiting for the Cat B, I think Cat B result or drop result.
When can that take place?
Huh?
When the second test will take place?
Should be already have the result, but didn't announce to us. No news. I think no news is good news. Like I think will be similar to Paul Popper, the Man United one, will have a ban for at least 1 year or more. For Mudryk case.
Tyron, do you think this Modric, even after this, I don't know, punishment or ban, when he will come, do you think he will come stronger?
It depends on how he's training.
Where is he training? Not at Coban.
These
Where is
these
he
people
training?
are these people are
He's going to the
rich.
gym.
These people are rich. They are rich. They have huge backyards where they are training.
I I think he will go to France for our B team to pay for a while first.
Yeah, yeah. Probably to pay
Maybe
for a
Then
season.
is also a good solution. Yeah, that
I
is a
have
good
never
solution for him.
I've never understood the Modric signing. To me, it's always looked like a pointless signing considering his contribution. I've watched him play. Let me just say what
That
Frank
is the
Lampard
ball.
said. Lampard said he's too raw. He's too raw.
yes, yes, yes.
He runs before he thinks. His feet
That is a
run.
bold mistake.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is a
yeah.
bold
His
mistake.
feet.
Real Madrid want to bring him at in their squad, so they both run faster and they get Modric. Only that.
Marco.
Just because of Real Madrid, that's why they.
How about Sterling?
Sterling is going to Saudi. It's going to Saudi.
But who
Yeah,
will buy?
that guy is
Who is the
finished.
buyer?
He's going to Saudi. He's going to
Saudi
Saudi
Arabia.
or
Yeah.
yeah, he's
I
going to
hope so.
Saudi. It's done for Sterling. I think you know there's one thing that I am saying that we are ignoring, but I think the players that we've been enjoying for the last 5 years, I think their time is coming to an end. Raheem Sterling is one of those players. De Bruyne is one of those players. He has accepted it. Salah was good this season, but he is also coming towards his end. Virgil van Dijk, when you look at his age, he's also probably going to his end, unless he's Thiago Silva, so probably he can play until 39. I don't know about that. A lot of players, even Bernardo Silva, even Gundogan, we are seeing the end of an era of players. We saw that era
Yes,
where they had
yes,
players like Hazard. So we are now seeing the Cole Palmers emerging, the
yeah.
Maduekes,
Estevao,
the Sakas, the Saliba. They are coming out now. The Mainu, Kobe Mainu, and even Son. Look at Son. Son is also approaching his end. So there is a clique of
yeah,
players
yeah.
who are very
Son is
good.
finished.
Yeah.
Son
So
is
there's a
finished.
clique. Yeah. So there's a clique of players who we used to enjoy in the last 5 years, who I think we need to start bidding them farewell. And Sterling is one of those
Yeah, yeah.
players.
This is the
So
beginning. This is the beginning of the new era.
yeah. So Sterling does not have anything to do. It's good for him if he can go to Saudi, get something huge for himself, go there, make money, then retire in football. But Sterling has had a good career. Nobody's going to remember the last days of Sterling. Whenever Sterling will be brought as a bandit in the Premier League shows, they are going to display 5 Premier League titles. He's a 5-time Premier League champion.
But when Sterling come to us, Manchester City got the Champion League
Yeah,
because they got Haaland.
yeah. But it's an end of an era. I don't even think Bernardo Silva will go beyond next season. I think
Mm-hmm.
next season will be Pep Guardiola's last season, and I think even players like Bernardo Silva and Gundogan will leave with him.
Do you think Anzo Maresca will have some tactics change for next season?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I prefer that. I don't know, but I prefer that. I want him to change the style.
Okay, but
I don't know, but
one thing I have to give to Enzo is that he has adapted his tactics, and I'm going to do a video on that, and people have not seen it. Have you noticed that in the last 10 games that we've played, that Sanchez has decided to go direct? We are not so
yeah,
insistent on
I've seen
playing
that.
from the back.
I've seen that.
We have not
It
insisted.
was since Liverpool. I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken, but since Liverpool, Sanchez
Even
starts
did
to go long.
since we played Fulham, he has been
Okay.
playing long, and we are seeing Chelsea playing more direct. Chelsea is looking not to build from the back, but rather playing balls over the top so that they can have runners making runs. That's a change. That is something that Maresca never used to do. Maresca was like, you play from the back. If you go long, I substitute you. But nowadays,
Yes.
Sanchez is going long more than he's playing from the back. So yes, in my opinion, he has changed his tactics. And even
To
nowadays, we are reaching a point in the game where we are choosing not to possess the ball, and we are choosing to sit in a deep block to defend our goal. That is something that never used to happen. We used just to continue pressing,
Mhm.
pressing, pressing. There's a time when we get the ball and the opponent is trying to gain some foothold in the game. You are seeing our team is moving into that rigid shape, and we are defending for 10 to 15 minutes. Then we are getting the ball. Instead of attacking, we are keeping the ball, conserving energy. Then, so I'm seeing there is some level of game management that is being introduced. I'm also seeing towards the 80th minute of the game, I'm seeing the players taking the ball to the corner. Then a player like Chris James is coming to shield the ball. Then they are looking to waste time with the ball in the corner kick situation. So there is some level of game management that is being introduced into the team.
Now, Tyron, let's talk about the set pieces, especially our corners. You know, a team like Arsenal, like Liverpool, when they go to corners, you feel like they will score. The ball will go in the net. But when Chelsea has a corner, so for me, I even corners for me, it's like it's not important to give Chelsea a corner.
The question I need to ask you about the corner, the last goal we scored that secured us the Champions League was from a corner. The Colwill one, it was a corner. It was a corner,
Yeah.
yes.
Uh-huh.
The question that we need to ask ourselves, first of all, one thing I have to
Mm.
thank the new set piece coach who came from Brentford is that we're not conceding goals from set pieces. The goal we conceded from set piece was the Virgil van Dijk goal. And when you look at that Virgil van Dijk goal, it's all on Noni Madueke. He was just
Madueke,
looking
yes.
at, yeah. But again, I'm asking myself, you are defending a set piece. Who is on Virgil van Dijk? You see, when you're defending a set piece, Virgil van Dijk is the player with the with the highest probability to score against you in a corner. So why don't you put Fernandez or Caicedo on him so that they are the ones who can hold him? Preferably, in my opinion, I'd choose Caicedo or Rhys James to hold him. I tell them, Caicedo, check over Virgil van Dijk. Then you allow players like Noni Madueke to be the ones who are clearing the ball. So there was a lack of communication over there. In my opinion, there was a lack of communication over there. Number two, I have not seen us conceding a lot of goals through corners. We were terrible, terrible through corners last season. We were so poor through corners. And what I can say this season is that
That is about
we are not.
defending now, about scoring.
Yeah, but set pieces are two things. It's all about defending, it's all about scoring. Even the crosses, the deeper free kicks that we get, we are not conceding from them. Even when opponents are scoring, they are being ruled offside. We are working on our lines when we are defending set pieces. So when it comes to defending set pieces, I have to say we have improved compared to where we were when we conceded 68 goals in a season. Remember, our set piece was terrible. Now let's move to attack. In attack, we have three things. You're looking at the person who's delivering. You see, as a manager, you can coach. You can even coach where players are supposed to be. But at the end of the day, who's delivering the set pieces? Number two, are the players who are targeting the set pieces, are they aerially dominant? Are they good
No.
in the air? In my opinion, Colwill is not so good in attacking set pieces. Chaloba is not so good. But Chaloba can actually score. I've seen him scoring set pieces, but I've
Yeah,
never
I've
seen
seen him last year. Last year, I
Yeah,
think it was the last game he scored from. Yeah,
but I've not seen Colwill. I've not seen Fofana. Colwill and Fofana are not good attacking set pieces. Even if you Palmer
that's why
drills in
I
one,
miss Rudiger.
yeah. So
Rudiger and Thiago Silva.
Rudiger was good, as Piliqueta was also scoring them. Thiago Silva was last season we scored a lot of set pieces, and Thiago Silva was the one who was scoring
Yes,
them. So again, I
yes.
cannot blame the manager. It's all on the players because Thiago Silva is shorter than Colwill, but Thiago Silva knew how to move and score them.
But we have to work on that. We have to work on that.
Yeah, let's say the players who are tasked with heading goals, the Colwills need to work on that. I'm seeing we've really gone for quite some time, and I want people who are going to review this. So it was really good to go through the season, see what the season has. So overall, can you say that the season has been a successful season
Yes, it was successful season for me.
compared to
We improved
the
compared to the last year and even the previous year. We improved a lot. We got
what are
Champions
you?
League.
Ah,
We got a trophy, so we improved. Then, as I said, when we had the live last time, I think we are back. We are not going to go in the Champions League just to figure it and go out. Maybe even if we they get us out from the semi-final, I don't know. That is not an issue. We are not going maybe to win the Champions League, but we are back. Uh, the next year, this next season, we are going to fight for the title. I'm 100% sure. If we bring Delap is there. If we bring Gyokeres and we bring even one center back, I think we are going to fight for the title. If we don't win the title, at least we can be second, and second, it can again qualify us for the Champions League. But these young players, what I see is like they want to win more titles.
Yeah.
Even
So
in the Club World Cup, they are not going
I
just
am I am
to
having a feeling
participate
that
in. We are
I'm
going
having
to
a
get something.
I'm having a feeling that something good is going to happen in the Club World Cup. I am having a
Yes,
good feeling
yes,
about the
yes.
Club World Cup. I am.
I have the
I
same.
saw
I have the same
Enzo's,
feeling. I have the same feeling.
and
Enzo
I will.
Fernandez. See Enzo Fernandez. See the attitude of Enzo Fernandez in the final of Conference League. So that guy, I think, since he won the World Cup, is like he wants to win everything.
Yeah.
I've seen his attitudes during the final of Conference League. He was like fighting. I like that attitude. Him and
Yeah.
Cucurella.
And I also
They wanted
Cucurella
that.
got it after winning the Euros. After winning the Euros, and
Yes,
there's this
yes,
thing that
yes.
Enzo did today on his Instagram. He said it was a pleasure winning the first trophy with these guys. So I think
Mhm.
they have that enthusiasm to win. You know, they're hungry and they have
Yes,
gotten
yes.
something.
That
They're
is a
like,
good word. Enthusiasm.
because
Yeah.
even the
They are
top
greedy.
four, yeah, the top four, to them it was like a trophy, because that's why you saw them celebrating, because they had a dip,
Yes.
then they won. You know, something that people are not getting is that Chelsea won 8 out of their 9 last games. 8. The game they lost, they had a red card, but they won. They
Mhm.
played against Liverpool, they played against Fulham, they played against Everton, they played against Manchester United, and they won 8 out of 9. And then they come and then they win a final. I think this Club World Cup, after just winning the Conference League, I think it's going to push them, it's going to ignite a fire in them, and I think they're going to really, really go hard on it. And I am optimistic that if probably we can get to the final, I think we can do it.
Someone like Palmer, I don't think that he will let just the Club World Cup like this. He will fight for it. I'm sure.
All of
I'm
them
sure.
will,
And
because
in your there is one tactical the preview before the final. You ask who is going to win the man of the match. I'm the one who tell you that Palmer will win, because that is a final and Palmer will need to show that is a good
it's a
talent.
big, yeah,
And finally, Palmer won the man of the match. And I'm
yeah.
100% sure. These players and Maresca, they will not plan like, let's go there, just play as the preseason and we come back for the Premier League. I don't think. For them, they will take that opportunity to get a trophy, because the Premier League, you never know. Maybe
Yeah,
you come and you have some tough game, you don't win the Premier League. So let's go for the Club World Cup and win it. And it's the first Club World Cup. It will be good if we win the first one and we enter in the history of
yeah.
that competition.
Yeah. So I'm actually thinking that that is what is going to happen, because I've looked at Real Madrid, I've seen their season, Bayern Munich. The only team that can scare me in that Club World Cup is Manchester City. That is the only team. That is the only team that,
Yes.
because we've not beaten them. But if
There
they
is no
get
an
to,
Italian team. Is there any Italian team?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
So I don't know. Probably
So Manchester City and PSG, I think those are the tough team, but
I think we
we
can
can
get
do something.
something,
We can do something.
and I think we can do something
And you
on
know those
PS.
team like Manchester City,
Ah,
I think they will just be knocked out by not European team. The team like
Brazil.
from South America, they
Uh,
can knock them out. Yes.
yeah, the only team that I am scared of in that fixture is Manchester City. That is the team that I want to be out.
Okay.
But
Because
if we
Rodri
get
also will be there.
yeah. So, but I'm optimistic. In my opinion, I've always said that I have this feeling that
What about
we are going
Barcelona?
to get it. Yeah, and Todd Bowley might actually win
Barcelona.
it in his own home ground in the
His own
United
country.
States.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
What
thanks,
about
Isaac.
Barcelona?
Barcelona,
You don't think Barcelona can?
are they there? They're not there.
Yes, they are there. They are there.
They're there.
Yes.
I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of the La Liga
Okay.
teams. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not scared about the La Liga team because when I look at Barcelona, they're also a young team. They're a young team like us. The only thing we need to do about
Mhm.
Barcelona is that we just need to defend well. They'll give us
Yes.
space. In fact, they will play the high line that Hansi Flick likes to play. Just play Jackson, Noni, Neto, and Palma. And then you tell Justin Enzo, you play the ball over the top. Continue playing the ball over.
Mhm.
If they play if Barcelona play the high line, it's over for them.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So you have any
We've done for
closing
today.
remarks? Yeah. So
No, no,
yeah,
no,
thank
no.
you
I
for
think I enjoyed this live, so we touch every point. So we touch everything. Now let's
yeah.
have a look on the transfer news and see how we are going to improve our squad.
Okay. Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you, Tyron. Bye bye.
Bye. So thank you everyone for joining us in our live stream today, and all we have talked about. We'll be looking to discuss more and have more discussions about whatever is happening in the league. See you again in our next live streams. So I want to thank Marco who left quite early. Thank you very much, and we'll be looking to do more live streams and more podcasts in our channel. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be looking to see the latest news at Chelsea and give you all the news that you require. Thank you.